Hello everyone, welcome to the IchimokuCharts.com daily analysis for gold for Monday, June the 15th. Well, the strong sell-off continued today. Another very bearish candle, very long range in the candle and a very large body. Slightly smaller than the previous body, but that doesn't really mean a lot. The body size is still up there as long as the body size hasn't changed dramatically. But still very, very bearish. Now, as we saw, we'll just look at the head and shoulders pattern that we identified a couple of days ago. We had that very strong close below the head and shoulders pattern on Friday. Here's the left shoulder, the head, and the right shoulder. The target is the distance from the top of the head to the neckline, which would give us somewhere down here within the cloud. And we expected that the market might find some sort of support down here near the cloud, that it would trade down to the top of the cloud first and look for support and then potentially trade down into the cloud. So as we can see from the small shadow or the wick on the bottom of the candle, that there was some small amount of buying coming in. Not enough though, I don't think, to halt this first time frame downtrend that we're seeing. I think we'll probably trade down into the cloud here tomorrow again. Now, within the cloud, we have this area of support down around this area, roughly about 915. So the market could definitely trade down to around that area. If we look at our other Ichimoku indicators, we have the Tenkan-sen, which is the line that describes the fast-moving trend or the momentum of that trend, and we're trading down below it, which means that we're short-term bearish, which is obvious. But the line is pointing down quite sharply, which means that there's a lot of downside momentum to this market. Also looking at the Kijun-sen, the Kijun-sen has turned flat, which means that we're retracing quite a large part of this very strong second time frame uptrend. Now, when that line turns flat too, though, if it continues for a while, it'll be an attractor of price action. Now, we also know that when we have fast-moving trend, that when the market, in this case, when the market bounces up towards the Tenkan-sen, it will tend to hold as an area of resistance. So as this trend starts to come off and retrace, we should look to this area to hold potentially. Now, if we look at the Ichimoku, some of the other Ichimoku indicators, the cloud here, the cloud twisted quite some time ago, which means that the market is still bullish. The only problem is that the twisting of this cloud tends to lag price action a little bit. So the signals with that can be fairly late. Now, importantly, we're just trading above the cloud. Now, that might not last for very long. We may have closed just down at the cloud or just within the cloud. So that means that if we're trading down into the cloud, it means that the market is neutral. If we're trading above the cloud, it means that the market is positive. Below the cloud means that the market is quite negative. So a lot of the bullishness that we've had in this market obviously has disappeared and is disappearing quite fast now. Now, we're also trading down below both of these Ichimoku indicators here. We're trading down below the Tenkan-sen and the Kijun-sen, which means that the market is quite bearish as well. Now, just going back to our head and shoulders pattern, quite often we can see a bounce. Once we break out, we have a strong breakout down below the neckline. Quite often the market can bounce and find support or resistance, up at the neckline and then sell off again. Now, whether this market does that or not is we'll see how the market develops, but this first time frame downtrend just looks a little bit too strong for there to be quite a significant bounce up to there very quickly. It could happen, but I tend to think that we might trade down into the cloud here a little bit more. Now, the interesting thing is that the cloud, the top of the cloud here is sloping down. So it means that the area of support as the market keeps trading day by day by day, the area of support at the top of the cloud is moving lower and lower and lower, which is not good for this market. It probably tends to mean that the market will continue to trade down. Now, after a few more days, we can see here that we'll end up trading to where the market, where the cloud turns flat. And that's a very strong attractor of price action. When we have the top or bottom of a cloud that's flat, it attracts the price action. We can also get false breakouts from there. So if we do trade down into there, and we do start to break out to the upside, then we need to be careful of those breakouts because they can be bull or bear traps. So still summing up, quite negative trading. Look to some sort of support. We could find support here over the next few days or so, but I don't think that we'll end up having a new first time frame uptrend at the moment. We need to watch the high of this candle, but I think the low of the current candle will be taken out.